independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Pran devi Dasi Mataji from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashmati Devi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the assembled devotees. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. First, thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, your voice, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Pran devi Dasi from Ghana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Padma Mataji. This is from Dasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji is already here. Mataji, would you like to start the recording, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, but it is too early. Can we chant for... Yeah, okay. Let's start the recording. Okay.
Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have Her Grace Vrajesvari Pran devi Dasi Mataji for giving us the class on the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, 3rd chapter, 29th verse. Before I hand over the call to Mataji, I would like to give to Sureshwar Sham Prabhuji for giving brief introduction about Mataji. Hare Krishna. Accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. Please take over the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Here is a brief introduction about Mataji. Her Grace Vrajesvari Pran devi Dasi is a disciple of His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj, and Mataji has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than a decade. She is a Bhakti Shastri certified teacher and also has completed all 3 levels of ISKCON teacher training courses. She is currently pursuing Bhakti Vaibhava. She has served as a Sunday school teacher for many years. She has interest in Shastric studies and gives Srimad Bhagavatam classes on a regular basis to local congregation. By profession, she is a nurse practitioner and works as a program manager in a clinical settings of a hospital. She is based in St. Louis with her family. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhu and Guru Maharaj Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your valuable suggestion and time this morning and enlightening us the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam and to third chapter, 20th verse, Mataji. Please take over the call, Mataji. Hare Bol.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining today. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. I'll share my PowerPoint slides here. Can you all see the slides? Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
All right. So today the verse for the discussion is from 7th canto, 3rd chapter, verse number 29. So we'll recite the verse now. Tvam ishishe jagatastastu sascha pranena mukhena pati prajanam chittaisa chittair mana indriyanam patir mahan bhuta guna shayeshaha. We'll read the word-to-word translation. Tvam, you, ishisha, actually control, jagataha, of the moving being, tastushaha, of the being that is dull or stationed in one place, cha, and pranena, by the living force, mukhyena, the origin of all activities, patihi, master, prajanam, of all living entities, chittasya, of the mind, chittaihi, by the consciousness, manaha, of the mind, indriyanam, and of the 2 kinds of senses, acting and knowledge gathering, patihi, the master, mahan, great, bhuta, of the material elements, guna, and the qualities of material elements, ashaya, the of desires, isha, the supreme master. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: Your Lordship, being the origin of the life of this material world, is the master and controller of the living entities, both moving and stationary, and you inspire their consciousness. You maintain the mind and the acting and knowledge acquiring senses. and therefore you are the great controller of all the material elements and their qualities, and you are the controller of all desires. Purport is only one paragraph. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that the original source of everything is life. Brahma was instructed by the supreme life, Krishna. Krishna is a supreme living entity. Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam. And Brahma is also a living entity. But the original source of Brahma is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Mataha Parataram Nyanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. O Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Krishna is the original source of Brahma. Who is the original source of this universe? Brahma is the representative of Krishna, and therefore all the qualities and activities of Krishna are also present in Lord Brahma. So for the discussion today, I would like to discuss the context first. This verse is spoken by Hiranyakashipu to Lord Brahma. So let's discuss the context. I know you all have been joining on a regular basis, so I'm sure you know where the context is. So to bring it to this point, I will briefly discuss the context and the chapter connection, and then I want to go into the translation and purport more deeply. And the points we will be discussing today is Krishna is the only master, he's the creator, he's the controller, he's the maintainer. And then some practical takeaways. All right, so let's discuss the context. So we are in 7th canto, 3rd chapter. So 6th canto ended that. Let me talk about the 7th canto first. So in Bhagavatam, there are 10 subjects are described. You all know Sarga, which is a primary creation by the Lord. All the material elements get created by the Lord. And then the secondary creation by Brahma and other Manus. That is discussed in 3rd and 4th canto. Actually, all the 10 subjects are discussed throughout the Bhagavatam, but each canto will describe one subject matter predominantly. So 3rd and 4th canto talked about Sarga and Visarga, and the 5th canto talked about Sthanam, which is the positioning of the living entities. So, and then 6th canto talked about the protection or Bhoshanam. So now 7th canto is going to talk about Uti. Uti means inclination or impetus for a living being to act. So some living beings may have inclination to act very auspiciously. Some may act inauspiciously. So when they act auspiciously or inauspiciously, the result is either pious or impious. And based on that, either they suffer or enjoy in different births. So that is the main subject matter in this 7th canto. So who is going to act inauspiciously in this canto? Hiranyakashipu. Because why? Because of the curse that he received from 4 Kumaras. And who is going to act auspiciously is Prahlad Maharaj, pure devotion. Why? Because of the mercy and blessings from his spiritual master, Narada Muni. So the whole canto is this pastime, Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu and Lord Narasimhadev. How this starts is, in the 6th canto, you all remember, Diti was lamenting because both of her children were killed by Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. When Sukadeva Goswami was narrating this, and he wanted to, why Vishnu did that was because Diti thought it is to favor the demigods, Indra, to protect Indra. Vishnu killed both of her children. And then we all know that she did the, vrata, and then, but the power of the devotion, she got purified, she got transformed, even Indra got transformed. So that was the ending of 6th canto. So hearing this, Parikshit Maharaj asked a question in the beginning of 7th canto. What is the apparent, it seems like, Vishnu is partial, apparently partial, but he knows he's not partial. So he wanted to know more about it. So the first chapter starts with how Vishnu is not partial, how he's impartial. So philosophical answer given by Sukadeva Goswami that Vishnu is above the modes of material nature. He's transcendental. He's a reservoir of all pleasure. When somebody is a reservoir of all pleasure, they don't have to side anybody. They don't have to favor anybody. If he needs something, then he has to favor somebody, right? If he wants something, we need to side someone or favor someone. But Vishnu is not that. So there's no reason for him to favor demigods. And at the same time, he's transcendental. He's above the material modes, material qualities. One who is under the material modes, one is under the influence of time, they go through the envy, the hatred, and all of those temporary things. But Vishnu is above all that. It doesn't impact him, whether praise or insult or hatred, envy, nothing. So in that sense, he don't have to envy the demons. He don't have to fear the demons. So in that way, he's impartial to both the demigods or demons. So that he gives the philosophical answer. And then he starts narrating the conversation which happened between Narada Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj. Because Yudhishthira also asked the question, how come Shishupal, so envious, so hatred of Krishna, so blasphemed Krishna, after he got killed, he got merged into Krishna's body? That was Yudhishthira Maharaj question to Narada Muni, and Narada Muni explains that. So remainder of the 7th canto is a conversation between Narada and Yudhishthira Maharaj, which is being narrated to Parikshit Maharaj by Sukadeva Goswami. So it's a conversation inside the conversation. So when Narada Muni is explaining that, he also says that the Shishupal and Dandavakra had 3 births. They are actually Jaya and Vijaya, and they took birth as demons in the material world. As Shishupal, Dandavakra got killed by Krishna, and then Ravana and Kumbhakarna killed by Rama, and then Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And the Hiranyakashipu was torturing his his son, who was a great devotee, who is Prahlad Maharaj, and they got killed by Vishnu. When he narrated that, Narada Muni narrated that, then the further discussion starts. Okay, how come this Hiranyakashipu was so envious or showed enmity towards his beloved son? And how come Prahlad became a great devotee? So then the 3rd chapter starting with the Hiranyakashipu's pastime. So first, Hiranyakashipu speaks philosophy to his family after Hiranyaksha dies. He talks about, the soul is eternal, body is perishable, the soul identifies with the body, and that's the reason we are bound in this material world. Hiranyaksha was a great hero, don't lament, all that, philosophy talks, and then pacify his relatives. And then he goes on to do the austerities. And he does this severe austerities. He was standing on his toes with his hands upraised, looking upward. It was a very difficult position. And he was doing that austerities for so many years. It says 100 celestial years. So he was so determined. What was the austerities for? He wanted to become immortal. He wanted to become the only king of the whole entire world, including Brahmaloka. So he was doing that, and he wanted to get the benediction from Lord Brahma himself. So it is like praying to God to become a god. He was praying to Brahma to become Brahma himself, to take the position of Brahma. And because of the austerities, the severe austerities he was doing, the heat was emanating from his body, and the whole globe was trembling. And the heat was, it was intolerable. So the demigods appealed to Lord Brahma. And they said, this Hiranyakashipu, who is doing severe austerities, is trying to take your post. And your post is very auspicious. You are a well-wisher of all the living entities. So don't let him try and take your post. And if he take it, then he's going to reverse the effect of pious and impious. Pious people enjoy and impious activities, they have to suffer. But he's going to reverse this because of his demoniac quality. So stop him. So Lord Brahma, along with other sages, goes to the place, the Mandara mountain valley, where this Hiranyakashipu was doing the austerities, and they couldn't even locate his body, like, him, because his body, his flesh, his skin, his muscles, everything was eaten up by the insects, and he was covered with the bushes. And that much determination he had to do this austerities. And from the Kamandalu, Brahma sprinkled some divine water, and that revived the body of Hiranyakashipu, and he became very strong and youthful, and with the good, golden luster, he came out. And then as soon as he saw Lord Brahma, he was very happy, and he paid dandavats. He paid obeisances. Then he starts praising in a flattering voice to Lord Brahma. The intention was malicious intention, because he wanted to become Brahma. He didn't want to have any rivalry. He didn't want to get killed, because he knew that Brahma cannot give him immortality. So he's going to ask in different ways his boon that he stays immortal. But that is in the future verses. But this verse is the one of the verse that he's praising Lord Brahma. The two verses is already covered. This is a third verse. So when you look at the translation, when you look at the translation here, can you all see the slides?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. So when you look at this translation, the words he's using, you are the origin of the life, you are the master, you are the controller, you are the maintainer, everything. But that may be true in the material world, but he's not the original origin, right? So does he not know who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Hiranyakashipu? Anybody want to answer? Does Hiranyakashipu knows who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he's talking this to Brahma?
He knew,
He
but
knew.
he wanted to kill Vishnu. So he was just thinking Brahma can give the power for him to kill Vishnu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, yes, in the previous chapter, he says that although Vishnu is a supreme person, he's not maintaining neutrality. He took the side of demigod. He's like a child. He's changing his mind. We cannot trust his activities. So he does say that. But we need to understand here that he doesn't know Brahma gets his power from Vishnu, though. So if Brahma himself gets his power from Vishnu, and if he goes to Brahma to get a power to kill Vishnu, how is that possible? That is a demoniac intelligence. He's confused, right? He's not very clear. So Prabhupada, right? And he's worshipping the demigod to kill Supreme Lord. How is that possible? Right? But if you see in the purport, even though this is Hiranyakashipu glorifying Brahma, Prabhupada glorified Krishna in the purport. Right? Because these are all applicable to Lord Krishna. But Hiranyakashipu is praying to Brahma as if Brahma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though all these attributes are applicable to Lord Krishna. You know what I'm saying? So is he really glorifying? Is he praying, or is he flattering? Because what is his intention? To kill Brahma, or to take the position, to take the position of Brahma. So what kind of glorification he's doing with the malicious intention? Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So, so why do we actually pray? Or how do we pray? We sometimes, first thing we pray as the devotees, we ask for mercy. We beg for mercy, right? Or we glorify the Lord, to please the Lord. Or sometimes we thank the Lord by praying. Sometimes we do pray during difficult times. And when we are not clear, when we are in doubt, we pray. Sometimes out of love. All the acharyas wrote so many prayers. And Bhagavatam is filled with prayers. If you take this list, you can put all those in those categories. Some are in difficulty. Uttara running to Krishna because she's in difficulty, right? Somebody thanking Krishna. Somebody is begging for mercy, right? Somebody is asking for shelter. Somebody is for purification. Somebody give me service. Somebody for protection. But none of this apply to Hiranyakashipu. He's not praying for any of this, right? So I have a slide here, the list of prayers that we have in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So many prayers. They were all wonderful. So bhakti is not that we believe in Lord. Bhakti is that we belong to the Lord. That we belong. We establish our relationship. It's just not, oh, I believe in God. That is not bhakti. Bhakti means we try to establish our relationship, that we belong to Krishna. So all these prayers says that. So I thought, let's take the translation and let's attribute all that what Hiranyakashipu is saying to Lord Krishna. First he said, origin of all life. And we know who is the origin of all life. Krishna. And Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva yoneshu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiya hasam brahma mahatyonir aham bija pratapita. I am the seed-giving father. So next, what did he say? Hiranyakashipu, you are the controller of all living and non-living entities. But who is controlling? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya dakshena prakrite suyate sacharacharam. The prakriti, the material nature, is under my direction. And she is producing the moving and non-moving things. Right? And then he said, Hiranyakashipu said, you're the master of all living entities. But Krishna says, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, I am the Maheshwara. Right? In Bhagavatam also there is the verse, Aho Prajapati Patir Bhagavan Hari. Including Lord Brahma, all the Prajapatis, Krishna is the Bhagavan. And then he said, you are the maintainer of mind and senses. But what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mataha Paratara Nanyat Kinchitasti Dhananjaya. There's nothing superior than me. We're going to talk about this verse in the later slides because Prabhupada also mentioned this. There's nothing superior than me. And Krishna says, Mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. Like a string, I maintain everything. You are like pearls, I maintain. Right? And then he said, finally, he said, you're the Lord of all material elements and their qualities, all desires. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. He creates everything. He creates everything and gives the blueprint to Brahma. Okay, now you take over. Krishna is a chief engineer and Brahma is a secondary engineer. Right? All right, so let's go here. So we all know the creation. I'm not going to go too detail into this. You know, Mahavishnu glances on the Prakriti, Pradhana, along with this influence of time and the karma and subhava of the living entities. And then it transformed into Mahatattva. And then Mahatattva, you know, transformed into Ahankara, which is the first material contamination, that false ego. And then false ego interact with the goodness. And that's where it, you know, the elements got created, the mind, and then 10 sense devatas comes. When Ahankara interact with the passion, the prana, and the 10 senses and the intelligence get created. And when Ahankara interact with ignorance, 5 tanmantras and 5 elements. So Krishna is the origin. And that Vishnu also, we know, first expansion is from Krishna. Krishna is the fountainhead. First expansion is Balaram. From Balaram come the first Chaturvihas. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. From that Sankarshana comes Narayana. And from that Narayana come the second Chaturvihas. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. And that from Sankarshana comes Vishnu. And that from Vishnu, expansion is Mahavishnu, then Garbhodakshai Vishnu. From that Garbhodakshai Vishnu's navel, Brahma. So the origin is Krishna. And all those elements, after it get created, they interact. And that interaction, the result of those interaction is the pleasure, pain, desire, hatred, all that happens. So Krishna is the source of all that elements, their interactions, their desires, right? But here he's worshipping demigod to kill the Supreme Lord. He's a demigod worshipper. And in the purport, Prabhupada read 2 verses before, in the same chapter, Prabhupada writes, Asura worship the demigods as being separate from the Lord, not knowing that all the demigods are powerful because they are servants of the Lord. It's like they are the directors or officers of the government of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna can withdraw their power anytime. Even if they are giving the benediction to the demigod worshipper, where is that coming from? Ultimately, it's coming from Krishna only. In an indirect way, avidhi purvakam. And Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, it's the less intelligent only will do that. Alpametasa. Person engaged in worship of demigods are not very intelligent, although such worship is indirectly offered to me. Hiranyakashipu doesn't know that. That's what he's doing it. But we can say, but how did he speak so much philosophy last chapter? Because he's a great politician. He knows how to act according to the time and place. Because he needs to pacify his relatives, his sister-in-law and nephews, he spoke like that. He had a great Vedic knowledge and understanding, but the knowledge is useless, valueless, because that intelligence he's not using in the service of the Lord. He don't have any motive, any intention to use his knowledge in service of Lord. So his plans were demoniac, his determination was demoniac. So everything was demoniac. But what is the recommendation? It says in Bhagavatam, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udhara di tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. So if somebody has a broader intelligence, whether they are full of material desires, whether they are free from material desires, or if they want a liberation for anything, one must worship the supreme whole, right? Because what was Hiranyakashipu's intention? He wanted some material benediction, but he was going to the demigod, right? So let's discuss the controller part now, right? Who is the actual controller here? And where does Brahma gets his potency? So let's see what is Brahma's position. Of course, he's the very topmost of the universe. His position is very exalted. Krishna empowers him, gives him the blueprint, and the Brahma carries Krishna's potency. And Brahma does a direct service to Krishna by building up this complex material world. It's not an easy job. But the ingredients are created by Krishna, right? And he takes the ingredients, he manipulates it like an engineer, and he creates the material world. He's very genius. So he's carrying the creative potency of the Lord, using Lord's ingredients, using his energy, he does the service. But is he the controller? The question is Krishna the controller? Yes, right? Is Brahma the controller? Yes.
Yes, to some extent.
Yes, Mataji.
Secondary controller.
Yeah. Are we the controllers?
Yes.
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 For our body.
Yes. So if Krishna is the controller, Brahma is the controller, and we are the controller, what is the difference?
Krishna is the supreme, and we are limited.
Right. Yes. So in one
Krishna
sense,
is Vibhu, we are Anu.
yes. Thank you, Mataji. So in one sense, we are all controllers. Krishna is the controller, Brahma is the controller, We are all the controllers. But we get controlled by someone in this world. We are not the absolute controller. We are called relative controllers. Krishna is absolute controller. All the demigods are controllers too. Brahma is a controllers. But we are all relative controllers. Our position is we are servant, we are controllers, we are controlled. All those three applicable. But Krishna is supreme God, is a controller. He's not controlled. That is the difference. And Brahma himself says that. Ishvara Parama Krishna, right? So let's see what Brahma says about Krishna's position. In Brahma Samhita, he recites this verse. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. You know, when he's reciting this one, at what point of his life he chanted this Brahma Samhita prayers? Anybody knows? So
When he did the tapasya.
yes, thank you, Prabhu. So he got the Gayatri, the first Gayatri from Saraswati, goddess Saraswati. And then he was meditating on, chanting the Gayatri. And then he got the second Gayatri, which is from Krishna's flute, which is Gayatri Devi manifested, and it entered his 8-year horse, and he got the second Gayatri. And then when he was meditating and chanting on the second Gayatri, he realized, I am the eternal servant of Lord. We all know we are all eternal servants, but he actually felt it, the realization. And that power of chanting and the power of meditation, then he created these hymns, these prayers, Brahma Samhita prayer. And he says, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara means controller. Parama means supreme. Supreme controller is Krishna. Sachidananda Vigraha. He has that spiritual body, which is eternal and knowledgeable. He's the Adir. He's the beginning of, he's the origin for everything. But Anadir. He don't have a beginning. Right? He don't have a beginning, but he's the beginning of, he's the origin for everything. Sarva Karana Karanam. He's the cause of all causes. That is Brahma's realization in the very beginning of creation. He himself says. And then we know this one also from second canto, when Brahma and Narada Muni's conversation, then when Brahma was talking Bhagavatam to Narada, Narada Muni also asked this question. How is this world created? Where is the source of your power? Do you alone create like a spider without any help? But I see you are doing austerities. You're doing tapasya. So someone may be more powerful than you. Is there anybody powerful than you or higher than you? This is Narada Muni's question. Yes, Krishna creates everything by his potencies. He gives the seed. And what Brahma does is he waters the seed, he assembles the parts, and he creates. So different manifestation comes. So Brahma says that in the second canto, inspired by him only. When he says him, is that's Krishna or Vishnu. I discover what is already created by him under his vision as a super soul. I am also created by him. That's the conclusion here, right? And then he gives the answer how Lord creates with his potency, with the influence of time and karma. And, we saw that already. And Brahma says, if somebody says, I am a supreme controller, they're less intelligent. He says, I offer my obeisances and meditate upon Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, whose invincible potency influences them to call me the supreme controller. People don't know. The less intelligent class of people think Brahma is a supreme controller because they're covered by the potency of Maya. Right? In this, Prabhupada gives an example of frog in the well analogy. We all know this. So the logic is, this frog who lives in the well never seen a gigantic ocean. It doesn't know the length and breadth of the ocean. So when somebody tried to explain there is a great gigantic ocean, this frog thinks, Will it be, is it this big? Is it this big? And it tried to pump up his belly, trying to show or experience the size of the ocean. And when they say, no, it is bigger than that, it is bigger than that, it pumps up the belly so much and the belly bursts and it dies. And the poor frog dies without having the experience of the ocean. So Prabhupada said a lot of scientists are like that. They are trying to measure the inconceivable potency of the Lord, and they die without experiencing that, without understanding that, without knowing that. That is a frog in the well analogy or philosophy, right? But one may ask, so in second canto, Narada asking this question to Brahma, but Narada is a liberated person, liberated soul. Does he not know that Vishnu or Krishna is the supreme? And we can also ask in Arjuna's case, in fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he asked that, me and you are same age, Krishna, but you are saying that you instructed the science of relationship with the Supreme Lord, which is the transcendental knowledge, to Sun God. How am I supposed to understand that? So, but Arjuna is the eternal associate of Lord. Does he not know Krishna's supremacy? And also, when Mahatma Vidura meet with Maitreya Muni, the first question asked is, can you tell me about creation? Does Vidura does not know about creation? And then also Parikshit Maharaj, does he not know that Lord is impartial? He asks so many questions like that. He doubts, like, is Krishna partial? Why they ask those questions? Why the doubt comes?
For us.
Go
Just to
ahead,
clarify,
Prabhu.
for us.
Yes,
For us to know.
That is one answer. Yes, very good, Prabhu. Thank you. That is for common people to know that they want Krishna himself to speak sometime. Right. Any other answers?
Are they illusion, Mataji, like Arjuna, Krishna made a
Yes.
situation as if he's
It was,
confused,
yes.
but he's
Right. That is one of the answer, because Arjuna was put into illusion or bewilderment by the will of the Lord, that he can speak Bhagavad Gita for all of us. Yes. Anything else?
Yeah, to expose the understanding of those philosophical aspects, Mataji.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. All covered. Maybe 1 or 2 points. Maybe I can say. In case of this one, Narada and Brahma, Prabhupada writes in the purport that the pure devotees, they know everything, right? But they are not just satisfied what they know about the Lord. They are so eager to broadcast it to the whole world because it's so auspicious for everybody. And the speaker and the listener get purified. So the pure devotees are so eager to broadcast the glories of the Lord to the whole world, right? In Arjuna's case, the same way. He knew because in the 11th chapter he talks about, but he wants Krishna to speak his supremacy. That is authoritative when Krishna himself says that. Maybe the demons may not like it, but the devotees love it. When Krishna himself speaks about authoritatively about himself, they love it. They welcome that, right? And for Vidura, for deeper realization, he knew, but he still asked about creation because pure devotees, they want to have deeper realization. They want to discuss more. So those are the reasons. So this is it's a side track. So I just wanted to bring it here. And Brahma, I think this was discussed by Preeti Vilasini Mataji yesterday, but I already had the slides, so we'll just talk about it. So Brahma's prayers again after the Brahma Vimohan Leela, right? This Brahma did a boo-boo. He thought that Krishna is an ordinary child and he offended Krishna. And then after that, he offered a wonderful prayers to Krishna. And then he says that, you are my father, Krishna. Please don't take my offense seriously. Parents don't take the offense of the children seriously. But then Krishna can say, I'm just a cowherd boy. Narayana is your father. So for that, Brahma says, yeah, Narayana, from the Narayana's navel only I came. Vishnu's navel only I came. In Garbhodaksha, Vishnu's navel only I came. But they are all expansion of you. Even Narayana is the expansion of you, Krishna. He says, you are the ultimate cause, Nidana. You are the shelter, Ashraya. You are the Atma, super soul. You are the source of all the material and spiritual worlds, Krishna. And Vyasadeva says this, In the very first verse, we ask these prayers. Janmadiyasya yaton vayati taratas charteshva vignaswarat tene brahma hridayadi kavaye. Right? Swarat. You are very independent. Krishna is very, independent, fully independent. Because why? There is no cause beyond him. We have a cause behind us. But beyond Krishna, there is no cause. So he's fully independent. And he's the one first imported the Vedic knowledge in the heart of Brahmaji, right? The original living being. Sometimes when we hear the word, we are dependent on somebody. That strikes our false ego a little bit. What? I'm dependent on someone? But here, Prabhupada writes one of the purport in, especially when Vidura was insulted by Duryodhana and Vidura leaves home to go on a pilgrimage, how he feels. He feels so freedom. He's depending on Krishna's mercy that gives him a freedom feeling. So if you want to feel freedom, we have to be dependent on Krishna. It is not a, people think, if I'm dependent on somebody, that's an awkward position. No. Prabhupada writes in that purport, dependence on the mercy of the Lord is a greater freedom than so-called freedom at home. Because nowadays, the culture is, we talk about so much about freedom, right? But depends on the mercy of the Lord is a greater freedom. Actually, every living being is completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, right? When Vidura traveled alone, he was not recognized by any friend or enemy, but he enjoyed the freedom of life without any obligation to many duties of the world. I'm sure you all might have had some experience when you're going on a yatra or a dham visit. You don't have any household obligations, anything. Your only thing is you're going to visit the dham, right? Do you feel freedom in that? Like, our mind feels so free that time, right? So we are depending on the mercy of the Lord. That is more freedom, okay? So now what Krishna says about, he's the only master and maintainer. Prabhupada writes in the purport, right? This verse Prabhupada is quoting, Mataha, other than me, Mataha, other than me, Parataram, superior, Na Anyat, no one is superior other than me, Krishna is saying. When we hear this word, we think, whoa, so Krishna is like a dictator with a thunderbolt in the hand, sitting up on the throne, because he's saying there's no one superior than to me. But if you see the second part of the verse, so beautiful. He says, Mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. Everything is resting upon me like a pearl on a string. So what is the pearl referring to here?
All of us living entities, material world, everything.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, the material world, the living entities, all compared to the pearls. So Krishna is saying, I am superior, but the living entities are pearls. So valuable, right? Why is Krishna comparing the living entities, let's take living entities as pearls? Because we turned our back to Krishna, we abandoned Krishna, we are in this material world. So he's not calling us any, cheaper things. He's calling us pearls. Why is he calling us pearls?
Mataji put in the chat, because we are superior energy.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Yes, Anita Mataji, superior energy of the Lord. Thank you. Yes, we are part and parcels of Krishna. We are part of Krishna, so we are pearls. Prabhupada uses this word all the time. We are part and parcels. We are part and parcels. What is the understanding anybody can say part and parcels means? We hear this from Prabhupada all the time in his books.
We are a part.
Mataji. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Anita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So actually, we are like packed in on we have come as a parcel. We have been a part of the Lord who have been packed in one body, and we have sent here. So that's why it's part and parcel. So we are the
Yes.
part separated from the Lord, and we are
Level.
parceled and come
Yes.
here.
In the
Yes.
Poichalman.
Yes, thank you,
Mataji,
You are muted, Prabhu.
Yeah,
is it
Sukha
we
Krishna
are,
Prabhu, go ahead.
Mataji, is it the Mame Vamta Jivaloki? Because we are
Yes.
part and parcel from him. We are extended part and parcel.
Yes, yes.
15.7. Yeah.
Yes, we are from Krishna. That's the reason we are part. But we are all individual units. We are all individual units. So we are parcels. So in that sense, we are parcel. But we are from Krishna, so we are part. So part and parcel, right? So Krishna is saying that we are pulse. Like, it's very unique, right? Very unique. And because we all have a place in Krishna's necklace. We are all unique to him. We are all valuable to him. If you see in Brahad Bhagavatamrita, the Gopakumar story, pastime, when Gopakumar finally, after the long journey, he reaches Goloka, and Krishna says, "Oh, Sarupa," his name is Sarupa, right? In spiritual world, Sarupa, you have come? Where have you gone so long? I missed you. And then I'm so thankful I know you will come one day. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful you have come. And then he embraces him. And don't go anywhere, he says, right? So in Krishna's spiritual world, we all have a place. We all have a role to play, right? So Krishna is comparing us here, poles. We are all connected together. And the thread is Krishna. The string is, Krishna. The thread is Krishna. He's so close to us. If you take the necklace, the thread and the poles are so close, so intimate, right? So we are so close. He's running through us and maintaining us, right? So that's the analogy given here. Very nice. So practical takeaways here.
And the thread is not seen.
Yes, yes. The thread is not seen. So sometimes that's what the atheist will think. This material world is so beautifully created that they don't have to believe in God. It's like a thread in the pearl necklace. We cannot see it. So people think it is, there's no God, right? But if Krishna wants, he can reveal to us. With our tiny brain, we cannot understand. Why? Because if I am able to understand with my tiny brain all about God, then I am superior than God, right? So for example, if you take like a computer, some program, and you try to explain it to me, I can understand because my brain is better than computer. But if I am able to understand Krishna's greatness, then I am superior. So that's the reason, unless Krishna himself reveal, we cannot understand him. Prabhupada always says, God is great, but we don't know how great God is, right? So some practical points here from all the discussion that we had so far that I just put together. Krishna is the only master and is our maintainer. So let's maximize our contact with Krishna, that thread. Don't just fall apart. Imagine if a pearl fall apart from the thread. Of course, Krishna is going to maintain us. He's not going to let us go. But the pearl will be lost. Is the pearl will look beautiful without in the necklace? It may look, but there's no purpose to it. There's no value to it. Unless it is in the string and, wear it or decorate it, it is not going to look beautiful, right? So let's maximize our contact with that thread, Krishna. And then also let's depend on Krishna's mercy. It's okay to ask for material benefit to Krishna, but it's not exalted position. Devotees don't do that, but Krishna knows. Also, let's solely depend on Krishna's will, not on our own strength. It is very dangerous to disconnect from Krishna. Take an example of kite. right? So the kite can freely fly as long as somebody is controlling the rope, right? The thread. Imagine if the controller let loose the thread. The kite can go anywhere. It can get lost, or it can get damaged by get stuck in the bush or thorn or something. So let's stay connected, right? So Krishna is calling us. Krishna is connecting us with him through many aspects. There are 5 things. Devotees, by serving the devotees, by taking association of devotees, through the deity form. You know, Krishna and Krishna's deity form is non-different. So he's calling us, or he's connecting us through the deity form. We can serve the deities nicely. Holy name, Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. In Kalikalam, in a Kali Yuga, Krishna came in the form of holy name. Abhinatvam Nama Namine, right? There's no difference between Krishna and his name. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Saktis. Krishna has invested all his potencies in his name. And that's Yuga Dharma, right? Chanting the holy name. So we can connect with Krishna through holy name. And Bhagavatam and Krishna is non-different. It's a Grantha, our avatar, book form of Krishna. We can see Krishna in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then finally, Dham, the Krishna's abodes, where he enacted all his pastimes. If you go to Dham, we can get all other things, the devotee association, worshipping the deity, holy name, and Bhagavatam. So Krishna is calling us through that, right? So let's surrender to Krishna's will, not against his will. So this is a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, one of the well-known famous book is Saranagati. Saranagati means the process to surrender. And there are 6 limbs or angas. First one is humility, dhainya. Second one is dedication to self, atma nivedana. Third one is Krishna is the protector. Fourth one is Krishna is the maintainer. And then 5th and 6th is anukul and pradikul, which is accepting what is favorable for bhakti, rejecting what is not favorable for bhakti. So those are the 6 limbs of that Saranagati book. I know a lot of devotees read that book every day. Like they have it at the bedside, and before going to sleep, they read one, song. It's a Bengali song. I don't have the Bengali version here, but anybody would like to read this song, which is the song of Krishna is our maintainer. Thank you, Mataji.
O youthful son of King of Vraja, you are the Lord of all lords. According to your will, creation and destruction takes place in the universe. 2. According to your will, Lord Brahma creates, and according to your will, Lord Vishnu maintains. 3. According to your will, Lord Shiva destroys, and according to your will, Maya constructs the prison house of this world. 4. According to your will, the living beings take the birth and die, and according to your will, they meet the prosperity and ruin, happiness, and sorrow. 5. The tiny soul, bound up by the Maya, vainly struggles in the fetters of the worldly desire. Without your sanction, he is unable to do anything. 6. You are my only protector and maintainer. Except for your lotus feet, there is no other hope for me. 7. No longer confident of my own strength and endeavor, I have become solely dependent on your will. 8. Bhakti Vinoda is most poor, and his pride has leveled. Now, in accordance with your will, he lives and dies. Hare Krishna.
Rajeshri, can you just pass on? You want to just these points? Can you just forward it in this one?
I'll share my PowerPoint with Vinita Mataji.
Please, very fantastic, Mataji. Very fantastic, really.
Thank you, Mataji.
You've done a lot of hard work.
Thank you. So, that's all I have for today. So when I got this verse from Vinita Mataji, I was wondering, so this verse is Hiranyakashipu speaking with his demoniac intelligence. thinking Lord Brahma is the Supreme Lord. How am I going to speak on this verse for 1 hour? Are we going to glorify Hiranyakashipu or are we going to glorify Brahma? But then when I read purport, completely Prabhupada glorified Krishna using the same points because the attributes are applicable for Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So that is our Acharya's mercy. They have given us, otherwise, if we didn't have the purport, we'll be misled. Oh, Hiranyakashipu is saying Brahma is the Supreme Lord. Maybe it is. Yeah, Brahma has those things too, right? So it's the mercy of Prabhupada. So we are able to, go in the right direction. And thank you all for so much for the opportunity. Vinita Mataji, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, and other coordinators of Bhakti Sangha. This opportunity is really purifying. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyacha, Kripa Sindhubhe evacha, Paditanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha, Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. What a wonderful, really packed class, Mataji. And very nicely you have narrated and connecting every sloka and everything you are giving so nicely, Mataji. You also mentioned, showed the prayers in the Bhagavatam, what are the different verses. And also it is our duty to establish our connection with God. We belong to God. It is not, and so many points, wonderful points, Mataji, very wonderfully prepared PowerPoints too. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your valuable association this morning and giving this such a practical takeaways too. Thank you so much, Mataji. Do you have time for questions, Mataji?
Yeah, we can take a few minutes, Mataji. I'll try. Thank you.
I see Prahlananda Prabhuji, Prahlandas Prabhuji has raised his hand. Prabhuji, please unmute yourself and go ahead, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. And Pranam to what an erudite scholarship you have shown in this today's class. I bow down to you. And my only takeaway today is a reminder of Bharat Muni, which says, Asya hetu prayatet kovido na labhyate brahmtam priyare. Yal labhyate dukhvadanyata sukham kale sarvatra gandhi. So, we can see how a devotee differs from a demon like Hiranyakashipu. His intention, his hetu, of his life is quite different from what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Something which we need to concentrate and target in our life is Lord Krishna's service to his devotees like that. So this was very much, the conclusion of on our side as opposed to that's what I take away from your lecture today, Mataji. Thank you very much for allowing to speak.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your sharing. I know you join very regularly every day without missing. So much, you're inspiring. Your enthusiasm is very inspiring, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. What a beautiful class. I don't know, you just brought in so much happiness in the heart when we were hearing this class. It cannot be more thorough. Such beautiful analysis and brainstorming questions. And I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Mataji. The class was fantastic. I learned so much. I can't even express how happy and how much I have learned through this class. So grateful to you. You have been meditating on this and putting together so many points. And this was such a comprehensive class. We look forward to more classes from you. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank our Vinita Mataji for finding such nice speakers in this season. It appears somehow that the verses are repetitive. I won't call it repetitive, but a similar point is being put across through many of these verses, and sometimes the classes may get boring, but then she made sure that she found excellent speakers like yourself in the season that made sure that we are able to understand the depths of what is being told in Sri Prabhupada's purports. So thank you so much, Mataji, Vrajesvari Pran Mataji, and Vinita Mataji, for this great effort that you both are putting in. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Only you can glorify anybody and everybody like this every single day. Whether they afford or whatever service they do, you glorify such a way that they want to come back. They want to improve also. Thank you so much for your encouragement. Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Vinita Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vrajesvari Pran Mataji, thank you so much. The way you started the verse with the translation, how you're connecting the translation to glorify Krishna, how the way you took the verse, right, to give the class, I was thinking already Preeti Mataji covered, Vetravinda Mataji covered, what is Mataji going to speak? Because everything, it's the same, similar verses, right? But still, Mataji, your class is so unique, and the way you took the verses with the prayers, different prayers of devotees, and how Srila Prabhupada is praising these words with Krishna. The way you took it was so beautiful, Mataji. I really like the way you said the context and previous cantos and how the 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything detailedly explained, Mataji. Very, very nice class. Really very grateful to you. Your class is so beautiful, Mataji. The way the PPT is also so nice. I really loved the class, as Preeti Mataji said. Thank you, Preeti Mataji, for encouraging me. As Vrajesvari Pran Mataji said, like how the encouragement Preeti Mataji gives us makes us grow day by day. It is all your glories, Mataji. You are the one who inspiring me to get the speakers, different speakers, and so that the variety in hearing every day. It is so nice, Mataji. Thank you so much. Without Preeti Mataji's help, I can't do anything. It is all her glory, but she just wanted to transfer to everyone. Thank you so much, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. I'm really grateful. She represents to be a right leader. Leader is not just, grow yourself, make others to be a leaders, right? That's what I feel whenever I meet, get associated with Preeti Mataji. In the way she trains everyone can individually become leaders and just run everything. Hare Krishna Mataji. Once again, very, very beautiful class. I'm really grateful to you. And thank you, Preeti Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna. Thank you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, for glorifying Preeti Mataji so wonderfully. Very old. So yes, she glorifies others, but we don't get a chance to glorify her. So thank you so much, Vinita Mataji, for glorifying her on behalf of us. Hare Krishna.
I just
And
wanted
thank
to
you,
add a point.
Vrajesvari Mataji. Very nice class. Sorry to interrupt you. Very nice class. Very nice presentation, Mataji, with all the questions. So just keep asking like this questions so that for me, I'm saying I will be awake and be attentive in the class.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I just wanted to add a point about Vinita Mataji here. So she's so sweet, actually. When she contacts me for any class, as soon as I see the message, the first thing before responding to her, I go to the verse. Because I'm still a selective speaker. I cannot speak on any verse. Sometimes I have to be very selective. So when I go to the verse and trying to see if I can speak on that verse, Mataji, by that, within few minutes, she'll send me a message. You saw my message, right? Why are you not responding? She's so sweet. So I have to be very quick in responding to Vinitama. She's on so top of things and she approaches in a sweet way. You just cannot, it's hard to say no to her.
Haribo.
Thank you, Mataji. My speed is very fast. People can't tolerate my speed sometimes.
The reason you're so speed is because you have so much on your plate, maybe, that you want to just keep going. And Krishna is blessing you with so much energy that, as soon as I look at the verse and Mataji, okay, tell me, you looked at my message, not yet, you have not responded yet. Come on, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the opportunity. Purifying. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Very, very wonderful class and very, very wonderful Sangha Preeti Mataji, Vinita Mataji. Vinita Mataji is lightning fast and yeah, very, very nice class, Mataji. Connected so well from from the beginning, from first canto to seventh canto, and giving the background, and very, very thorough, Mataji. Thank you so much. I see some chat in the chat box. Let me see if there is any questions. Vrinda Gopika Mataji is saying, learned so many things, and she's appreciative of the class too. So other than that, I don't see any messages. Yeah, it's all.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I think if there is no more questions, maybe we can give a praise. Vanja kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you.
Her Grace, Vrajesvari Pran devi
Vrajesvari
ki
Pran
jai.
Mataji ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Koti Koti
Thank
Dandavat
you,
Pranam.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today's class. We'll meet tomorrow. And the last class for this year will be tomorrow. Don't miss it. Hari Bol.